Good afternoon, Mustangs. Guys, you've made it. It is Thursday. We've got a 3-day weekend ahead of us. And students, next week, 4.5 days. We got a PBIS day on that half day. We are so close to spring break, everybody. Keep up the great work. We are here for Roundup. I'm excited to be with you guys. I hope you're settled in with your classmates in your advisory and you are ready for a great lesson on our character trait for the month of April. But as we always do, everyone, we always like to look back on the previous month. So let's dive right in to our refresher from our month of March. Everybody, welcome to your April Roundup. So our March bring back, everybody, very quickly. What was the character trait for the month of March? Perfect. It was self-control, everyone, and we have been talking about that ongoing throughout this month. I've had some great conversations with students during this month about self-control and how to practice self-control and how we can do that better at times and how you also have shown self-control in certain circumstances. So as always, guys, I'm always proud of everything that you guys are doing in and about the building. Just remember, the charge, your Mustang charge that I left you with on the Friday last time that we were together was to make sure that you pause. When you are in those moments, when you're in those heated moments, or when you're in those predicaments where you are caught in those tough circumstances, please pause. Take 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds to just breathe and think. And remember, we talked about, will I be happy with myself 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, an hour from now, a day later, a week later? If I make this decision right now, if I act on what I wish to act upon right now or what others are asking me to act upon, will I be happy with myself in a few minutes, in a week? So take that pause. People are asking you to do something. People are peer pressuring you to do something. Someone has done something to you and you want to react immediately. Take that step, take that space, take that time to just reflect and think, if I do this, what will come of it? Remember to embrace silence. I gave you guys the challenge to see if you could sit with your cell phone on ringer with nothing else around, no other stimuli impacting you, and see if you could sit for 20 straight minutes without touching that phone. Every time that text message goes off, or the FaceTime is going off, or your TikTok, or your Snapchat, any of your notifications or alerts, without reacting to it. Can you just sit and be? Embrace silence. That is a strong level of self-control. We also talked about finding that inner strength. So to have self-control, to have that high level of self-control, you've got to have some inner strength. You've got to be mentally tough. You've got to be strong within yourself. And so you've got to find that inner strength within you, deep within you, so that when you are put into those situations where peers are pressuring you to do something you know you shouldn't, or you are faced with some adversity, someone has challenged you or has done you wrong, and you want to react, you want to respond immediately, you've got to take a step back. And it takes strength to do that, guys. It takes mental toughness, but you got to find that inner strength. And then lastly, we always talk about manage your impulsivity. So impulses, those are those immediate responses that our body wants to give. Those are those reactions. So someone says something and we immediately want to say something back. Or someone pushes us or bumps into us and we want to turn around and react to it. Manage your impulsivity. Manage those impulses so that you are always representing yourself in the best light and always showing strong character. So that was your Mustang charge. I want you very quickly, 30 seconds, turn and talk to a partner about one way you practiced one of these examples and initiatives that we gave you last month. Go. 30 seconds starts now. All right, guys. Love the conversation. Teachers, thank you for supporting the dialogue. That image up on the screen, everybody, that was from 2 years ago where we actually were able to be in the gym again, and I can't wait until next year when we can come back and hopefully be together in the gym for roundups. But that was from 2 years ago where we actually did a chemical demonstration on reaction, a chemical reaction between Mentos and Diet Coke, and understanding that a chemical reaction takes place because of the outside coating of a Mentos. But if you pop that Mentos into your mouth and you give it just 10 seconds, it wears down the coating of that Mentos, and you put that in the Coke or the Diet Coke, there's no reaction any longer. And so that 10 seconds represents that time. If we pop that Mentos right in, right, we're upset, we're mad, we immediately react, boom, we explode. And it's a mess, it's a disaster. There's consequences that can come from that. But if we take 10 seconds to pause, to think, to find our inner strength, to ultimately manage our impulsivity, that reaction is less. And the consequences are less. And that mess is not as bad. So a great science lesson to help actually demonstrate how this actually can look and work in the real world. So guys, make sure that you are focused always on self-control, finding your inner strength, and ultimately managing your impulsivity. Let's jump into our character trait for the month of April. This is a great one, and it applies to self-control. So we got a video for you real quick. Let's check it out.
Forgiving is going back, but going forward at the same time. You can't move forward without forgiving. Many times, the resolution is simply saying to your family or to your loved one that you love them, and literally speaking it. And that can create a massive reaction, especially when you're talking about relationships that have become very ugly, or in relationships where family members haven't spoken to each other in 10, 20 years. Even if the impact and the reaction is, well, I don't love you. Okay, good. But it's important that I tell you that I love you so that you can hear and you can understand where I am. When that happens on an individual basis or in a family dynamic, it completely changes the circumstances. You don't have to be best buddies, but it's important that it's stated and it's said clearly so that it opens up that relationship.
The definition of forgiveness, which is the action or process of forgiving. Stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, a flaw, or a mistake. So that video that you guys just watched, very, very short clip, but has a very powerful message to it. You cannot move forward without going back. And that can be confusing. But for us to be able to move forward in our life, sometimes things that have happened in our past, in our history, we have to go back and take care of those for us to be able to move forward. And so that's what that video is speaking to. Quote up on the board right now is that the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. And that is a Mahatma Gandhi quote. Guys, being able to forgive is a difficult thing, because sometimes in our lives we have been wronged so many times or so tremendously that it feels like there is nothing inside of us that is willing to let somebody free, if you will. But by keeping that in, by holding that burden, by holding that grudge over someone's head, you actually create more pressure, more stress within you. And I'm telling you guys, when you ultimately can just release and let go of all the wrongs and all the people who have wronged you in your life, when you can truly ultimately say, I forgive you, you will feel the weight of all of that stress leave your body. Students, I'm not telling you that you are going to forget what has happened to you. And I would encourage you not to forget what has happened to you. Because everything that happens to us in life, it happens to us for a reason. There is a purpose behind it. We don't always understand it. We don't always know why right away. But there is a purpose. There is a reason why something is happening to us. But you can't hold on to those things. You cannot let those things weigh you down. You cannot hold on to those so tightly that it starts to take control of your life in other areas. And they talk about telling someone, I love you. And again, just like we talked back about gratitude, literally saying it. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be the term, I love you. To forgive, you don't have to say, I love you to someone. But to be able to say, look, I know this happened, and I didn't care for it. I don't support it. It's not who I am, but I forgive you. That will be a tremendous release for you. So I urge you guys, think about all those times someone has said something negatively to you. Someone has made fun of you. Someone has approached you in the hallway and picked on you. In class, they've made fun of you. Parents have come down on you hard in an unfair way. Because guys, we don't always get it right as parents. We do our absolute best. Or another family member. It could be an aunt. It could be an uncle. It could be a cousin. It could be your siblings. Because we all know how those siblings can be, right? Yeah, I wasn't the best big brother at all times. I know that for a fact. But you've got to be able to forgive. You have to be able to let go. You cannot carry the weight of that burden for your entire life, or it will beat you down. And the literally saying it part. Remember when Mr. Hall told you about gratitude? Going back to what I just said earlier. Silent gratitude does nobody any good. Well, it's the same thing with forgiveness, y'all. It's the same thing. You've got to be verbal. You have to be vocal. You have to go and actually physically have that conversation with someone. You have to be able to speak to them and let them know that you forgive them. So we're practicing that this month. Find that classmate. Find that friend. Find that family member. And have a conversation with them about something that just didn't feel right with you. And you've got to be able to listen too. Right? We were put on this earth with 2 ears and 1 mouth. Some of you may have heard this before. The purpose behind that was so that we had the power to listen twice as much as we speak. Some of us have that flipped. We've got that backwards. We've got 2 ears. So you can listen twice as much as you speak. Remember that. So when you're having these conversations with those people who have done you wrong, you've got to listen, because sometimes it's actions on our part that we weren't even aware of that caused somebody to react in a certain way to us that then ultimately we said, oh, no, that's not how it's going to go. So listen first and then ultimately forgive. Guys, you have gone through some tremendous things in your time on this earth, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years. Some of us don't even have a clue. You've got students sitting to the right and left of you right now, guys, in your classroom You have no clue what they've gone through in their life. No clue. Some of us have deep scars. Some of us have a tremendous amount of trauma that we've experienced. Others haven't, but that does not mean that we haven't experienced pain and hurt on the part of other people. We don't understand what our words always do at times. We think we're making a joke. We're being sarcastic. But we don't really know what those words are truly doing to someone else. And so when that occurs, when you're being hurt, you can't hold on to that. You cannot hold that against that person. You got to have a conversation. And if you need support, guys, we're here. You have tremendous teachers who will help you engage in a conversation like that. You've got wonderful school counselors. We've got a great school social worker, wonderful assistant principals. And we have a tremendous support staff. It doesn't have to be anybody out and about who you see in the hallway all the time. Any adult in this building will be willing to support you in a conversation with another classmate if needed. But take the time to forgive and practice forgiveness. And remember, weak individuals aren't able to forgive. It's the strong who are. So guys, you know I'm challenging you. Find that classmate, find that peer, find that friend, find that family member where you've been holding something against them, and you know you've been holding it against them because you think about it constantly. It's constantly on your mind. Or every time you see them, I don't like that person. They did this. Let it go. Let it go. Because guys, when you wake up in the morning, your body has replenished itself to 100%. And if you're investing 10, 15, 20% of your energy on that thing because you can't forgive, you can't let it go, then guess what? You're only left with 80% of the energy you have in a day to dedicate to the great things, on what your goals are, what you're focused on. Release. Release it. Let it go. And you do that through forgiveness. But you've got to literally speak it. Focus on forgiveness, guys. I know you can do it. I love hearing some of the conversations that we have after these Mustang Roundups, where you come and you talk to me and we discuss how things have gone and actually putting some of these into practice. So I look forward to some of those conversations as well. Let's get into announcements, everybody. We've got some great ones. Students, you killed it again. Guys, we took the map test 2 months early, and you guys still grew across almost every grade level, close to 2 full mean points. 2 full mean points. That is tremendous growth, Mustangs. Tremendous growth. And we are so proud of you. We're working on a way to celebrate you for those of you who met your map goals, either your reading and or your math. And that was your fall to spring goal. So we're working on a way to celebrate you in a safe way. And so we will definitely be sharing that with you soon in the upcoming months before the school year gets out. Spring sports. Our girls and boys soccer team are in action tonight at Hilton Head in the championship game. Great seasons out of those teams. I know they're going to go out there and fight their hardest tonight. Hopefully we come out on top. But regardless, these students have etched their name in the legacy of athletics here at Bluffton Middle School. Some of you may have seen the banners that have gone up in the gym. We've got our championship banners that recognize all of our runners-up and our champions. These students will absolutely have their year represented on those banners, because either way it goes tonight, we're going to fight as hard and we're going to bring that trophy home. I know they will. But if not, they have etched their place in our school's history. Congratulations to our girls and boys soccer team. Best of luck. Go out there and fight hard tonight, Mustangs. Don't give up. You play to the final buzzer. Our baseball team, man, they are doing a great job remaining undefeated. We are so proud of them this year. They've got one more game, and then they will be heading into the playoffs. Congratulations, baseball team. And our track team had an outstanding performance last night as well at the county championships. So proud. A great season. Thank you to Coach Weingart, Coach Guerra, and Coach Evenden for all your work, and all of our volunteers who stepped up and supported during various track meets this year. Thank you so much for all of your support of our student athletes. So spring sports was fantastic. Coach Dummermuth, Coach Fields, thank you for your leadership as our athletic directors. We greatly appreciate all of your time and energy that you put into getting us through 3 successful seasons in a pandemic year. So thank you very much to you two gentlemen. Third quarter, guys, it ends on April 7th. So make sure you are getting that work complete. Guys, summer school is around the corner, and I need you to process something right now. Listen closely. Summer school is going to be running from June 28th to July 30th. That is the entire month of July, guys. We come back to school on August 16th. That gives you 2 weeks. If you end up in summer school, that gives you 2 weeks of summer. You will be in school for the entire year. Pass your classes. Complete your work. Submit your work. I do not want you to be in this building over the summer. I want you guys to have a break. It has been a difficult year. It has been a challenging year. I want you to have a break. Do your work now so you don't have to do it over the summer. Please, I implore you. So third quarter ends April 7th. Get those grades up, guys, so that you are not having to come to summer school or putting yourself in a position where you're having to work like a dog fourth quarter so that you don't have to come to summer school. Put in that effort, guys. Get the assignment submitted. PBIS, everybody, is going to be April 9th. That is the half day before spring break. PBIS will be a normal PBIS. You'll be rotating to different stations. We've got GMA snow cones coming out where you'll be able to purchase a $3, $4, or $5 snow cone, different sizes that you wish to purchase. It's also going to be a jeans day and a hat day on that day, guys, as well. So get excited and make sure you are getting those stamps. Teachers across the building, core classes, academic arts, please make sure you are stamping our students, giving them their stamps so that they are earning their way to their PBIS event. And please remember, everybody, that if you've got a major referral, you might not be participating in that PBIS event. So let's make sure we are focused here in these last weeks to stay on track, doing the right thing, to round out this third quarter, doing the best you absolutely can. Spring break starts on the 10th, carries us through the 18th. We're back in the building on the 19th. So enjoy spring break. And also, regarding spring break, guys, if any of you want meals, our cafeteria will be providing meals for spring break. Parents and students, if you are interested in meals for spring break, you need to call the school and speak to our cafeteria manager, and they will get a reservation put in so that they can get a hard tally on how many people would like those meals over spring break. So just give the school a call. Students, tell your parents. If they're not watching this, parents who are watching, reach out to us. Let us know. We'll get your name on the books, and we'll make sure we have meals for you. Our cafeteria manager will let you know how to pick those up and when to pick those up and where. So again, spring break meals, if you want them, reach out to the school and we'll give you all the details.